I can't see if I'm in focus, so that'll be fun to edit. Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing another advice school related video. I really like filming these, you really like these. Seems kind of obvious to me that that's what we're going to do today. I've left school now, I'm done. It's a bit scary, but I thought, what advice can I give to you? So I've thought of a couple of different videos that I'm going to be doing over the summer, kind of maybe preparing you for the next academic year, whatever that might be, whether that's uni, year 11, year 12, year 13, whatever. And the first one of those is going to be today's video, which is how to cope with getting results that you're not happy with, bad results if you will. So if you do like these videos, please give it a thumbs up. It's the way that I know that you like them. I've noticed patterns of more thumbs up on these kind of videos, so if you continue doing that, then I know that you like these and I will film these ones for you. I am totally open to doing whatever videos you guys really want to see, because that's what I enjoy doing, is making videos that you like. So when I see that something gets a good reception, it's like fun for me, and when it doesn't, it's not so fun for me. So I'm gonna do whatever you want to see. Make sure you let me know by kind of engaging with the videos that you like more, and then I will be sure to do more of those. Just in case you are wondering, there are going to be timestamps in the description, so if there's one specific thing you kind of want to jump to, I might try and break this video down a little bit when I'm editing it, and then you can go to whatever bit interests you the most. There's always my social media links down there, my uni days link, seeing as this is a schoolish related video. So basically if you get uni days through that link, I get rewarded for it, so to speak. It's a referral link, so it's always down there in case you want it, and if you don't, then use someone else's, I don't mind. But that's all down there, let's go. Okay, so the first thing I briefly want to touch on before I start talking about actually bad results or results you're not happy with is waiting for your results. If I look at my demographic and I know the kind of people who watch my videos, I am pretty sure pretty much everyone watching this is waiting for some kind of result. I'm waiting for results. And waiting is really difficult, so I just wanted to start this video by letting you know that you can't do anything about what is going to happen, which is really difficult to accept, especially if you're not so happy with things. I wasn't so happy with a couple of my exams. They didn't go like my past papers had been going, which was a shame because it was the real one. But there's nothing you can really do to change that. You just have to accept what has happened and know that when you get your results, that's when you can start snapping back into action. So speaking of action, one of the most important things that you can do right now to help prepare yourself for potentially not the results you wanted is plan B. It doesn't take away from you as a person or your intelligence or anything like that to have a plan B. It's actually a smart thing to do. Lots of people are doing ASs that don't actually count towards their final grade, unless they obviously drop it and then you take that AS. So I know that Bjorn did last year. He did the physics AS, but it didn't actually count towards his final grade. He did the 100% of the exam at the end of this year, year 13. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You're still waiting for your result, but technically it doesn't count towards anything. So obviously, internal exams, you don't technically need a plan B, but it might be good to think about the kind of thing you will do if your results don't go the way you want. So let's say you are gearing yourself up because you don't think you did very well in one certain subject. You could start thinking about maybe getting some extra help with that subject next year. You can have a look online, see if there are extra revision guides you can use for next year if you have to do a retake or anything. You can start thinking about that. Obviously, if you're waiting for GCSEs or you're waiting for your full A-level results, GCSEs we'll start with, you need to think a little bit about what the repercussions might be. So let's say you need certain things to get into a sixth form that you want to go to, or a college, whatever it might be that you want to do next. It doesn't happen. What am I going to do? And the same applies for A-level as well. If you are kind of expecting not amazing results, think about what I might be able to do next year. Well, if I obviously didn't do well, I'd want to retake that exam, so I'm thinking about, okay, what would I do? I'd obviously be revising, maybe I get a job, blah blah blah. Thinking about that kind of thing is important and is the first step in preparing yourself to not do so well. Don't put yourself down. That's a really important thing to do in this time where you're waiting. You can't kind of go, I'm going to do awfully, I'm going to fail everything, blah, blah, blah. The best thing is actually not to think about it at all. But if you can't do that, keep a very open mind about it. As open as you can possibly be. It's over. It's been too long now since they ended, and it's too long until you get your results. This is such a weird phase, so I would say there's no point in dwelling on it too much, but it is always good to have thought a little bit about what might happen if your results aren't so good. Moving on to actually what happens if you get your results and they're not what you wanted. The first thing to do before you make any emotional decisions or you get upset about things is assess the importance of what you've just done. I understand that you need certain grades to kind of move on, so I don't remember what we needed, but we needed something set in English and maths, I think, to kind of like get into our sixth form at school. So you're hoping for that, obviously, because you want to get in, but there are certain exams that if you don't do as well as you wanted to, you can't let it like eat away at you forever. For example, I took RS GCSE. I didn't love it. I wasn't doing it for A Level. It really didn't have that much like meaning to me, and if I hadn't got my mark, if I'd got something lower than what I got, I don't think it would have been worth my time thinking about it, you know, so badly. I know it's a shame to like taint your record or whatever. Yes, it would have annoyed me, but you have to assess how important it actually is. You have to kind of accept that. As annoying as it is to have put work in, trust me, it's okay. So that's the year 11 assessment. For year 12, obviously you've got to assess, was it real? Was it a real exam? So my geography last year was real. My chemistry wasn't, and I did badly, so I kind of had to get over it, because ultimately it wasn't as important as if geography had gone wrong, because geography counts towards my final mark. I took critical thinking. I got an A in one paper and I got a D in the other paper. I don't know what happened. I never liked it. You don't have to certificate it at my school, so I didn't. I pretended that I didn't do it. It's not on any of my records. Things like that, you just have to think, how important really is this? And I know, because I can see you behind my camera screen, your computer screen, phone, whatever, going, yeah, but I put loads of work in and it's so easy for you to say that like GCSEs aren't important. I'm not saying they're not important, I'm just saying there's like a tier level of importance, and I don't think that some things are worth crying over. That's all I'm saying. Levels. They're important, especially if you're looking to go to university or you're looking to do something that needs certain grades. But if you get a grade that you didn't want, let's say you need A, B, B to get into uni, but you want to get 3 A's and you get an A, B, that's confusing, I'm sorry. Basically, if you get a grade lower than you wanted to get, but you still get into where you want to go to, you can be upset, but you need to like put it into perspective, and that's what this whole thing I'm trying to say is about. Perspective. Have some perspective about your results. It will help you cope with ones that you're not so happy with a lot better. The next thing to think about is why they might have gone wrong and what you can do to improve. It's more difficult when you get higher up, but for GCSE not doing so well, still getting into wherever you want to go, but like having that not so good result or not amazing result can be a really great like stepping stone for you. You can think about how to fix it. It might help you with your A levels if you've not done so well and you suddenly have to like step it up a little bit. There are always ways to fix things. There are always ways to fix things and do better next time, and I think it's really important that one of the first things you do when you get results you're not happy with is look forward to the future on how to improve. Part of that is definitely thinking about why they might have gone wrong. So last year I didn't do enough revision for chemistry and that's why it went wrong. So this year I put a lot of work into doing my chemistry revision so that fingers crossed it goes better and I get what I need, because thinking about how it went wrong and like the reason for it can improve actually all your subjects. It actually helped me, I reckon, in my other subjects as well, because I learned the importance of revision. Dwelling on things too much is not good for you. I know it's really difficult if you're like dependent on something, then the dwelling happens a little bit more. So if I'm, for instance, I'm dependent on my marks because it determines what I do next year, but too much dwelling is not good for you, so try and talk it out if you need to talk it out. Often it's not good to bottle it up. Talk to someone, tell them exactly like how you feel, try and like get it out your system and try and move on in the best way you can. I mean, I know moving on doesn't always mean moving on, because sometimes it's like, right, my moving on is having to revise for my retake or whatever it might be. but it's still moving away from your bad result. It's not like productive to keep thinking about it over and over again, especially if it was what I talked about earlier, one of those not so important ones. Whatever, I got 1A, like, forget about it. It's not a big deal. It doesn't change my life. Yes, it's disappointing, but we all set way too high expectations of ourselves and like standards. Learning to accept things and like relax in general, something I'm trying to do and should be something that everyone's trying to do. If you don't do as well and you don't move up to whatever that next level might be, however old you are basically, doesn't necessarily mean that something is like stopped. You can try and rectify it, do your retakes, whatever it is, get your predicted grade up, etc., that kind of thing academically. Or actually, if you flunk your A-levels and you've always been a passionate, I don't know, I can't think of anything. I was going to say like stonemason, that's not what I mean. If you have another passion and you don't do so well in your A-levels and you decide, you know what, I'm not going to retake it, I'm going to just do something else, it could be a really great opportunity for you to explore something that maybe you didn't ever think of. You thought, I'm going to go to uni, and then maybe things don't work out and you think, well, maybe I won't, maybe I'll wait a year, maybe I'll do an internship at that magazine that I really want to work at. Whatever it might be, there's always a chance that you can completely change your like mindset around and try something that you've always secretly wanted to do. So everything has a silver lining, and if everything really does just completely crumble, you can always go down a completely new path, and I'm sure that you will have support. If you don't have support in that, I support you, I believe in you in your new path. And finally, just to say that you have a lot more support than you think. People will be disappointed, like you can't escape that you'll be disappointed in yourself and other people will be disappointed in you, but no one wants to see you fail, and if they do, then they're not worth your time. But you should be thankful, I think, for the like support that you hopefully have. I think even if you don't realise you have it, there are people who, if you went and spoke to them and said like, I'm really upset about this, they could help you with it. I don't know, that might be a friend, that might be a random teacher who you've like always kind of looked up to but you never really like were taught by. It could be a random family member, like a random aunt or whoever. It doesn't matter who it is, but there's probably someone who has gone through something similar. And if you ever have questions for me or want like advice on what to do if things don't go so well, then I'm here and I would love to help you. Bad results are a shame. More than anything, they're like a disappointment, I think. So if you don't do as well as you wanted to, you drop a couple grades, it's a disappointment and it's something that you need to like get over and work towards, but it makes you a much stronger person. It will help you do better next time. It's not necessarily entirely a negative thing. Whatever type of exam you're doing, whatever year you're in, whatever you want to get, whether that's a string of A stars or a string of C, everyone gets disappointed. Doesn't matter what the circumstance is. Don't make fun of someone for being disappointed for something that's different to you, because everyone gets disappointed and it's perfectly fair to be upset by anything really. Everyone has their own goal. I'm sorry, my camera got too hot, so I know the angle is different. I just wanted to wrap up by saying that I know that there's a lot of pressure from so many different sources. You think, oh, there's so much pressure to do this new, and like what if I don't, like what if it doesn't happen, and then it doesn't happen and you're disappointed, you think everyone's annoyed, you don't get into where you want to go to. Any result is good enough to do something with, so just find out what that is that you can do with your results, and I hope that they go well for you. I hope you don't really need this video, because I hope that you don't get anything that you're disappointed with, but you're not alone if you do. So many people will be disappointed and have to think of new ways of thinking and new ways of going about stuff, and that's okay, because that's just part of the exam process. So good luck and thank you for watching. Thumbs up if you haven't, if you like this kind of thing, and hopefully it all goes well. Fingers crossed for everyone, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!